Alright, so I've already started and I wasn't thinking about filming, but I guess I probably should, because this is what can happen when you get overwhelmed with homesteading activities. We started out with one shelf to store jars and canned goods when the pantry originally started overflowing, and to organize some of the things that I was using constantly, like the baskets of lids and things. Actually, originally we started with that shelf over there, and I had those 3 gray baskets above there and a shelf, and then we brought in the extra freezer to have one up here instead of downstairs, and the small rack, and then we brought in a shelf over here, and then we brought in another shelf, and it still has gotten away from us with, I have 3 canners right there. Some of my bigger appliances have migrated out because I'm using them constantly. Baskets of produce and eggs, and then when we had the pantry bug issue, some of my dry goods that I brought in the house ended up on a shelf, and this thing has just gotten away. Now, if you remember back in when I showed you my pantry, I actually did remove all the jars from these shelves, and so they had been on the shelves in these boxes, and then I put the boxes back up here, and I'm in the process of removing them. I don't know what I'm going to do with the boxes yet, but because the pantry bugs liked the cardboard, I didn't want to put the boxes of jars in the pantry, so I just put everything on the shelves. So I'm making a pile of boxes in my foyer. I've got to decide if I want to take them downstairs and use them downstairs to store empty jars in, or how I want to do this. So I'm not ready to let them go, but I need them out of here because my goal is to get this shelving unit at least out of here, and I want to put my freeze dryer up right here. So that is what I'm working on today, and eventually one of my projects is to get through all these potatoes, whether I'm canning them or freezing them or something. I need to wash a bunch of eggs because my layers have started just laying like crazy all of a sudden. So I have a lot of reorganization to do. So for right now, I'm using my table as a staging area. I have some totes over here that I can use. I may just be using them to haul empty jars to the basement or something. I need to get this stack of egg crates that was on the top shelf over here. I'm going to get them, stacked up like this so they take up less room. So that is the project today, and I will take you along because my ultimate goal is to hopefully have this table right here. Let's see if it'll focus. There it goes. It actually used to be in my dad's shop when he owned his business. He's retired now, and it's a steel table that was cut out with like a CNC machine and then powder coated, and it's crazy heavy, but my husband has always loved it. So when they sold off everything at the shop, we kept it, but then the kids were little. It's kind of got sharp corners and stuff, so we never had it in the house. It's kind of always been in the basement waiting for something to do. I think we had it in our apartment, our temporary apartment. But when we moved in the house, we put it in the basement. It's just kind of been sitting down there waiting for life. So because it is so heavy duty and strong, we are going to put that bad boy freeze dryer on top of it. To keep it off the floor. So that's the goal. And then these boxes have like all my freeze dryer trays and Mylar bags and extra things that my husband had bought for me to go with it, because that was my anniversary / Christmas gift from him this year. I know, I have the best husband. He's amazing. So, and I need to get my cat crate out of here because I took her to the vet. But anyway, this is my rainy day project today, is getting these things that have been sitting here at the edge of the dining room and foyer actually put in place and getting that straightened up. It's going to be a slow process I'm going to downsize a lot of things, but it's hard when you're trying to make things from scratch, and keep up with your daily life. You have bread machines and canners and roaster ovens and crock pots, and they take up so much room, and my kitchen is not that big. Like, I mean, it's a decent size, but I don't have a ton of storage space. And some of the storage space I have is awkward because the way the plumbing pipes run through, like, they're halfway out into the bottom cabinets, and so I have to be careful around those. So this was my temporary answer, but it just kind of got overwhelmed and unorganized, and I hate it because my dining room is, I mean, it's a working farm dining room. I get that, but it's just like, I can't deal with the clutter. It's giving me anxiety. It's gotten beyond the point that I can deal with it. So we're tackling this today. I'm actually surprised that this little wooden crate is the only like dry goods food I had over here. Now, I mean, I do have like flowers and, things bulk items that I need to find a spot for. But as far as like, pre-made pasta and pancake mix, and, these 2 boxes are popcorn from the Boy Scouts. My son's in Boy Scouts, so we love the Boy Scout popcorn. But I mean, that's really not a lot of dry goods stuff. That I thought I had more, but like, this is a oatmeal. I have a couple things of crackers left over from New Year's, one package of Dream Whip left, and then 1, 2, 3, like 4 boxes of pasta and some pancake mix, and that's really all I had over here. So I know I lost a lot of it when I cleaned out the pantry, and so these were the only things that I had brought into the house since figuring out about the pantry bug. So it was only like between Christmas and New Year's that I had brought a couple things in. So I didn't have as much over here as I thought I did to find homes for. So that's, I mean, in a way, it's a good thing. In a way, that does affect my pantry challenge, because I was hoping I had a little more stuff over here to deal with, but that's okay. This is my stack of boxes that I had canning jars in on that shelf, and a very nosy kitty cat. And then all these are jars. No, I take that back. That's a Goodwill donations box, and those 3 are empty jars. So all of that was taking up room on those shelves. So we're at the point where I feel like we're making more of a mess than we're cleaning, but we've crossed over to where I can kind of start seeing progress at the same time. So here's all my like recipe books and recipe printouts that were just kind of stuffed here and there on the shelves. And I still have to do the egg cartons. And then this area is, of course, the dry foods that we talked about already, which I did find a few more things stashed in there. But we're looking pretty clean here. So these are some things that I'm going to take to the chickens, like some dehydrated eggplant and some pineapple zucchini, which we really didn't enjoy it. I wanted it for things like carrot salad and stuff like that, but I'd rather have pineapple. So, and then there's a couple jars of jam that have, I don't know, done something weird. So we're going to get rid of all that. And then this shelf was basically over here, and I just moved it over because it's all the pieces and parts that I use, like flowers and dried goods, dehydrated stuff. This down here are bulk seasonings from Azure, and then these are boxes of just kind of random things. Like this whole box is chargers. we use these inverters and things to charge, like this fan for our farmers market booth in the summer. We use them if we're expecting storms. We charge all of them up because you can plug things into them, like your phone and stuff, to charge. Over here is some things I have for like cheese making and stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of deal with that stuff later. We moved over our spaghetti squash, which is another project. I'm probably going to leave the bottom shelf alone because it is like supplies down there. You know, my meat grinder, honey jars, things like that, and saucer. So the really I only have left is this bottom shelf, which again, a lot of it is supplies. I've got some more egg cartons, but I have your storage bags for the food saver. When we do meat, I have, this is new. This is a deli slicer. And then that's new as well. I got it for Christmas. It's a steam cleaner, which I'm really excited. Once I get the house a little more organized, I'm going to steam clean all my kitchen cabinets and everything that have just kind of gotten grimy and I haven't stayed on top of it. So this stuff, I think most of it would fit over here on this second shelf. And then I would be ready to get this unit out of here. So at least we're finally making some progress. And we did it. And now that I can see, it's aggravating me that my trim is not there, that trim piece. When we redid it, we had to replace some trim, and the new trim never got put up. But I've got some dog food I need to clean up right here because the dog's bowls are usually right there in front of that shelf. And so when she eats, she had some that went up under the shelf. So I need to clean that. I'm going to go ahead and clean the baseboard. And then we're going to see, that table may be too long. If it'll fit there, I may have to rethink this. Because now that I'm looking at it, I'm not sure that table's going to fit there. And look, nosy cat. Nosy, nosy kitty cat. What are you doing, Chomper? Oh my goodness, it fits like a glove. I'll have to pull it out just a little bit so that I can get to that plug right there. But that should give us plenty of room to put the freeze dryer and put the oil or whatever we need to behind it. I don't access the stuff on that bottom corner shelf very much, so I can always, take the time to get to it through there. But I mean, it's not great. Originally I had wanted to put that table there, but this was the best way to get it done, I think. So we're gonna let it do here for now. Eventually I would love to get that shelf out completely, and then this thing would just be in that corner. But it's a work in progress. We're constantly changing how we do things as we find better methods and better ways, and change some of the stuff we do. Oh look, another kitty cat. Nosy kitty cats. So, but I'm excited that actually fit. I was a little worried about it. But I measured it and I was like, okay, it's going to be tight, but it worked. So as soon as we get the freeze dryer on it and get the table stuff gone through, I will bring you back for the final. Okay, we got it done. So the freeze dryer is now in place, and I did get all the egg cartons straightened up and up on the shelf. And I think this, this shelf is still cluttered, but it makes sense. I mean, I've got all my rings and lids and canning stuff up here in the baskets. I've got my empty egg cartons. These are all my dehydrated items. And once I get some of the containers out of the pantry, I may put these in there since they are in containers. I don't have to worry about them. And then bulk spices, goat's milk, cheese supplies, the tools, and then everything else is, I did find onions and some more lids in here, spaghetti, squash. I found a bag of potatoes that I need to use up tucked down there. But everything else is like supplies that we use for market or meat grinders, things that we don't use very often. They're down here. So, I mean, it is pretty organized. I don't like this being in my dining room, but for now it is better. And I'm going to work really hard on emptying out the potato bins and stuff like that and see if I can get this area cleaned up. I still need to put away, figure out where I'm putting these dry goods because my little turntable is kind of full. But I did make it through all the cartons and get the cookbooks and stuff put away. This is the box of all the freeze dryer things. And there was another box of, hold on, I'll show you. I put it over here on this rack that's going out. It's raining, so I don't want to put it out on the porch. So it's going to sit here in the foyer until we can take it out to the barn or somewhere for storage. But this was the other box that was on top of the freeze dryer. And it's the Bootstrap Farmer little trays. So that needs to actually go out to the greenhouse. So yeah, we got through. It's so nice to not have that in the middle of the floor right there. So still need to do some organizing and work, but I'm excited to get this freeze dryer up and going. So hopefully the next video will actually be on Sunday, and it'll be the meals of the week for the pantry challenge. But after that, I'm hoping to get the next video out of setting up and using the freeze dryer. So that's the goal. There may be other projects that take precedence or get edited first, but I'm really excited to get this going. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you are actually enjoying seeing some of these organization projects and stuff. I know I did a community tab, oh gosh, it's been maybe a year ago, where I talked about whether people wanted to see this or not, and they said yes. So let me know in the comments if you are actually enjoying the cleaning and restructuring and organizing videos, because we're just trying to make our homesteading life more functional and easy to keep up with, because we've kind of, as you can see, gotten overwhelmed with all the things that it takes to do this. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you soon.